Hello, welcome to Cultural Spectrums and Jazz Pearls. I'm your host, Eric Frazier. We have a fantastic program in store for you today. We hope you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, man. I tell people all the time, our practices was legendary. Our practices, game's not. Yeah, Paul Humphrey did that 440, right?
He was a spinner.
Yeah, 220. Yep. Y'all had a nice squad. Yeah, y'all had a nice. Yep.
The legendary high school coach of boys high school. He coached for 12 years and he had incredible statistics, incredible success, and we're here to remember him as a father figure, as a mentor, as a dear friend, and a man who made a major difference in Brooklyn. Not only did he help the players that played for him, he also helped people who didn't play for him. Doctors, lawyers, and politicians. Thank you so much. I love Boys High. Thank you.
Yeah. The football team was trying to, like, you know.
I went there to play football.
There you go.
Mike, I got somebody that got a toothpick longer than you.
Oh, with the toothpick.
Oh, you should need the toothpick.
Get on the
Like toothpick man.
You better take that toothpick out your mouth.
That's what Howie used to say. He used to threaten me. I ain't gonna put you in the game. And I used to fake him out too.
When we had to break that press though.
Hey, I faked him out. I still had it in there. He didn't know. All I did was do this here and play.
Disappear.
He didn't know. Yeah. My goodness. Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you still in Brooklyn?
My man.
Oh right. Wow.
See, Bo was the man.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
man, y'all went undefeated, went on, won the championship that year.
Yeah, we did with Melvin, Juan, and Al, and
Davis, and
Gus, and Kenzie.
Oh,
Kenzie, yeah. Kenzie was on Douse, Pete Davis. Yeah. No, Duce,
Okay.
one of the younger brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. Ed is one of the older.
Dallas ended up being a star, but he was having problems getting on the five with us.
Right. Yeah.
You know, after that, it was like people in Connecticut was talking about Dallas. I was like, yeah, okay.
Once that transition happened, him and Pete just went off.
Yeah, him and Pete went off.
Yeah.
They was waiting.
They was waiting.
You know, I'm glad to be here.
They were waiting. There's no doubt about it. So, yeah.
All the time.
All Americans.
That's what's
Yeah,
All
man.
cities. All Americans.
Goes to show you, right?
Yeah. Time. Wow.
Anybody contact Jackie?
You know, how is it? I can get a copy of something like this there.
You never got a chance to play.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah, that's well, when they were seniors, so you had Juan Costello, Castello. Yeah, I mean, you know, I was a sophomore, they were seniors. So Juan Costello, right here, that's right there. Melvin Davis. We got Al Lyons in the corner.
That was the last time.
Steve Johnson. Yeah, Steve Johnson. Steve is not with us anymore. I'm just going with the seniors right now. That was seniors. Yeah. I think Hector was a senior too. Hector Feliciano, I think it is. No, not Blondell. No, Blondell was way before. Yeah. Murray State. Yeah, he was a big star.
Don't send it to me. You don't want to hear my stuff. You don't tell me the game you had in the garden. Tell me the second games at the garden. He ended up playing the garden. They can tell him.
We were neighbors in 4th grade.
You know what happened to me?
4th grade thing now, you know. I'm the one, you know. I'm the one, the 4th greeners. Oh yeah.
So we got to go to the garden.
So
I told y'all stop.
Hector Blondette.
I told my son, get there.
We were just a building away from each other. Like, I lived in this building right here, lived in that building right over by the wall.
In 1964. So I went in there and shot me a jump shot. That's in the 90s. Yeah. You got to play in the garden too.
See, you know,
That's why I went to left y'all in the night. I'm talking about pros.
Yeah. Well, Crusher, you know. Well, that was his ball playing name. Crusher. No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how many undefeated squads the High has. You know, but
I don't know what there.
yeah, that's what I was getting ready to talk about. So we were
6 to 12. You know what? The 1960 team is the one that's in the Hall of Fame at the Downtown Athletic Club.
Really?
Wasn't that an undefeated team?
Huh? No, I don't think they was undefeated. I gotta check with Dennis Watson. He's the only one I know I can get in touch with. I don't think it was undefeated.
We lost one game in 3 years.
How is Dennis? One. He's on Dallas. He's on Dallas. I talked to him.
And then they came back to us and we beat them by 50.
Right. Well, a whole lot of teams were wiping them out.
To make sure that they understood that was a fluke.
Right.
The rest looked at it.
Yeah.
Remember Booby Green couldn't hit a jump shot, remember?
Oh,
Booby
okay.
couldn't hit it.
Yeah. Sharpshooting Booby.
Yeah, and how he was like, keep giving the ball, boy. And I'm like, yo, I can take this dude. He's like, is he free? Yeah, give him the ball. He got us here.
Yeah.
We gonna stay with him.
Oh yeah, Booby. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But the rest, at the end, even with them doing that, we had a shot at the game, but at the end they took it from us.
Right. Oh yeah. I feel you.
We sure got back to them when they came back to the High.
When they came back home.
By 50.
50. You hear that?
Not for that 60 team.
Yeah.
Kinsey, they might have won the 60 team.
And Steve, but they won on the field.
That 60 team, which is that was the first year. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Come up and play in the garden. That's Howie, Bush Styles, and myself.
Now, I got a picture that Bush now gave me from the 1957 team.
Okay.
Yeah, there's Crusher, Bush now, and Howie Jones.
Him, Tom Holmes, the freshman, Billy Burwell, Wally Briggs, Hugh Evans. Did Hugh Evans become a referee? Hugh Evans?
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, 27 years.
Yeah, Wally Griggs was serious.
Wally Briggs,
Yeah.
Was he on that 60 team?
Yeah.
full guard.
They're the only five that got sweaters. The first five got sweaters.
Killer.
The rest of the guys didn't. I don't know why. I got to ask Dennis Watson when I told you.
Killer. But he knew about this, right? He knew about it.
Yeah, he said he called him.
No.
Mel phone? Yeah, he said he even called Jerry Powell. Jerry Powell was saying,
You called Dennis Watson too?
who? Dennis Watson.
He was over there. Jackie Wilson, Larry Cheatham, and all those cats. Rob Washington.
Because they had no one on it. And he had taken it out of the took a picture of it.
Oh.
And then actually, he put it on a frame.
Right.
So I went to his house.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this that sweater.
Yeah.
Took a picture of it.
Yeah.
He said he can't find the picture.
You know how those things got away at a certain time.
Oh yeah.
You know, when I think back about it, I said, well, they don't even know how and it got away from me.
Yeah. They did. That was a nice sweater too.
Yeah. Those are the kind of things you want to have right till this day as souvenirs. My, oh my. So, Juan,
Yeah.
do you have pictures?
I ain't got no pictures.
No pictures.
None. Back then I was running.
Yeah, I know.
I was doing my thing, you know what I mean? And I wasn't. I mean, back in them days, what kind of cameras we had?
Oh, yeah, it was rare.
You know?
Hey, have a camera.
Damn, bro.
Line up, look at all of them.
Oh my God.
Your name was always popular in my household, in my family. Roger, just crushing. Even in the early days of being around Sands Junior High School, crushing was me. And Roger.
I can't say shit.
Yeah.
Destroyed Boys House, Owen Auburn, all of them. All was like this.
What happened?
You should have brought your group to entertain us too. What's up with that?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding with you. I got to get your latest CD though.
Okay, we'll play it after this.
Roger would say, I'm going to cut you out. I'm getting out before I forget.
No, go ahead.
Right? I said, Roger, you playing the games clear. You know, whoever they have the time. What you going to do? You're not afraid.
That's why you have to go That's why you have to
Number
go
2 high school ball player
Every
in the
night.
nation. Roger, what you going to do? You're not afraid. What you want to do? Tony Willis Reed story.
Oh yeah, well Yogi can
I
tell us.
mentioned that too.
You know, Yogi can tell us.
Check that one.
Oh, okay. Right, but I just wanted to, while you were here, your name always came up.
Man, I love me some Roger Ball.
Yeah, and then when I finally
See
got,
Roger play? Absolutely.
and when I finally got to go into Sands at a certain age, you had a lot of Eastern District players that were there.
Come on, man. We was behind them.
Yeah. Well, you was behind? No.
Well, Boys High was Boys High.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Boys High was Boys High. But we was neck and neck.
Remember, because the Fort Greene guy from
Wasn't on neck.
Eastern District. So be Adams. Alfred Adams.
I'm going to show you something.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold it up. I used to catch them dudes 1 or 2 at a time. Because 5 of them, the high squad, you can't beat them. Well, we might have. But I catch them in the park and I kill them. But half of them, I catch half in the hall. Yeah, you wasn't there, but you didn't see Roger Banks destroy Boys High. Destroy Boys High.
So, but let me just go on.
Then what happened?
I got to talk.
Nobody can beat us at all.
I got to deal with this Eastern.
What's he talking about?
That's why I like Go ahead.
But I know about the Eastern District thing, because, Oakland was there.
That's right.
And then Sands, like I said, you had Sophie Adams, Alfred Adams, right? And you had Chubby, Ron Baker.
The tip that they carry around.
In the city.
He was the Earl Monroe.
You ever seen Jerome Baker?
Yes, absolutely. Yo, bro. Listen, let me tell you something. I traveled the whole city.
Okay.
See, that was me. All over, man. All over Brownsville, East New York, Flatbush, Harlem. It was there. I watched you Tiny, when
Tiny was doing this thing.
When Tiny was doing this thing.
Yeah, but I mean, this Eastern District story has to be told right now.
Oh, I can't hear you. What did you just say?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Shut up.
I have to do this because this is a Sands Junior High School thing.
And it's a family thing.
Boys High is Sands Junior High School. So is Eastern District, because my uncle and the rest of them came from Fort Greene. And they played together at Eastern District. So Eastern District and Boys High. When I was coming along, it was a big old confrontation or argument or whatever you want to call it. So you either go to Eastern District or Boys High or Fort Hamilton.
No discussion.
So I'm saying,
well, what's interesting about that is the fact that when I played at Rothschild, because Rothschild and Sands was right.
That's right.
Downtown.
Right, exactly.
Down here.
In Fort Greene.
In Fort Greene. So a lot of cats, Donald Slater played with me, you know what I'm saying? Farragut, right? You know what I mean? And so, but
go ahead.
that was the beginning that Mr. Jones started listening because Rothschild was beating Sands.
Yeah.
Coleman was beating Sands.
Well, they were from Uptown Manhattan.
No. He's talking about Mellon and Coleman, right? Coleman Junior High School, right?
No, not really Coleman.
Coleman.
Okay.
You know,
Okay, so they on the trophy.
Brevard.
That's what I meant was.
Okay, they on the trophy, so I
that's how me, Ronnie, and Mel ended up at the high.
At the high.
Because he came straight there because, hey, Ronnie was killing him, and then when Ronnie left, I started killing him.
And Mel showed up.
Yeah, brother, the whole night. Yeah, me and Mel came
You came in as a sophomore. Ronnie was already there, right?
Ronnie was already there.
I wasn't going to go to Boys High when Lester Roberts took me to see a Boys High game. I was like, that's a freshman? I got some work to do.
Ronnie played with me at Russell.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that confrontation was Sands and y'all.
Started then.
Right. So when I showed up with Gus and Dowse and Gus Washington,
And then you went to the high.
That's where Howie Jones.
Ronnie left at the 8th grade.
As an 8th grade, he left at the 8th grade.
I know.
I came by and I was along with him.
57.
Like I said, being in San
But he mentioned Chico Donovan, now Veron Donovan, brother, played well at the high.
His other brother,
Donovan played too.
the older brother played against us at Shaw. What's up, baby?
Chico, he's the one that he was talking about. He said, Chico Donovan was the one
We
starting.
skipped the high, right? My high, right? Was they was the passer. They wanted to get this. They was the passer. so I played Chico. That was my highlight. I think I got 14 to 16, they got 18 to 20.
Yeah.
We lost the scrimmage, but you know, we held our own.
You held your own.
But Veron is the Jones used to say, because we don't, Veron plays was one guard in the middle and two in the wing, right? Yeah. When you got it to the wing, the first thing you're supposed to do is look for him and Ron. Right. So,
And then go back to the middle.
yeah, so if they wasn't free, then you had the ability to say, move out the way, I'm going, right? And Veron, that's, I mean, he, remember the spinning? This boy is spinning like this, like the pearl.
That's right.
I mean, it was crazy. I mean, and that, you know, and with Jones, it was like, you weigh somebody.
This is a memorial service for Howie.
I mean, it was a genius because he, and the thing about it was, it was simple. It's like, go to the wing, you could run the picks, you know, you could do some picks, you could do all that, but that was all.
Look inside.
Look inside, if ain't nothing happening in there.
Yeah, if you got the clear.
Sometimes Mel will come up and give you a clear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Take a look at this.
I gotta beat this. That's why I'm pulling out my glasses.
But all that dribbling they do, they
All the time.
But this is great.
low to the ground.
Got it? Oh, you coming back this way, okay.
But I just had quick.
We got a connection, man. I love Roger.
Yeah.
He was like my hero. I was Thursday and Sunday. I couldn't do that. I did the best I could at that position.
Right.
And like we were talking before the camera, when I got it all together, when you look out, he's not feeling good. Post you, from the wing, play back court.
Yeah. Yo, Mel, she gonna take orders? I'm starving, man.
Sorry?
She gonna take some orders to have some food?
Yeah, he came out there. Yeah, played with the Harlem Wizards.
Yeah, because I remember him
You're not
coming
waiting
down.
on anybody.
Yeah.
We can
Pete Bell.
I forgot to bring my car. At the hotel, you couldn't go in the restaurant unless you show your car. Which is a good thing. The vaccination rate.
And I'm seeing this. And I'm watching all this. You know, so that's why I gotta express it now. I probably he paused me. I said, look, this is a connection.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Oh,
That's how I got great, cause that pipeline.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot of talent down here.
Yeah.
Western House, you had the factory, you had the fort. You couldn't go to the high, you went to Western House.
Or Fort Hamilton.
Fort Hamilton.
And East
They recruited me before the high. Fort Hamilton.
Fort Hamilton.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy? I went to St. Anthony for the first week of school.
What you
awards.
Yeah.
Because you know, they eventually became a powerhouse. They brought me there, me and this kid, Tito.
I was telling you.
Right?
Yeah.
We was there for a week.
I thought he was MVP in the tournament.
MVP. I played for 2 years.
You could take him.
Hi, how are you? Yes, Leslie.
John sent me down there 65.
Yes, I can.
Got the menu yet.
It's not on the menu, but we can make it. We have shrimps with spaghetti.
That you have, what was
Spaghetti
that?
and linguine.
I have the penne or I have the spaghetti.
He became principal in 29.
You was Christmas 289?
Yeah.
While you
So
were
here's
that,
how it goes.
I didn't even look at it.
Remember,
yet,
he
but I
had a
heard
tournament in
positive.
289,
He
right?
worked there every summer.
How we gave a tournament in 289, and we put a team in. We didn't have a coach.
Hey guys, let's order if you want to order.
I have just the regular never
So this is a
They
double
can just
story,
give me
right?
to us, like a
On
brown
our
oil.
original team,
So
there was George Thompson,
with that, which one of those?
It can either be penne or spaghetti.
a.k.a. Don Smith,
Penny.
Jim McMillan,
Yeah.
myself,
The penny is that?
and the
Skinny
best
one that looks like
principal in the city. Who was the best principal?
Yeah, like Mickey.
Yeah.
Frank Mickey.
Here.
That was our starting.
He was our assistant coach.
That was our starting five, but I was on the 289 tournament. Now, Mick said,
So you can
we
do
didn't have a
like
coach.
steamed sauce, which is like a garlic and oil, or the regular tomato sauce, marinara
Mick
sauce.
said, our coach.
Okay, anything else you like with that?
Kill Mick.
Can I get a chicken or something?
So
Chicken farm?
He first came down slavery.
With spaghetti with marinara sauce.
Mick, Y'all ain't know Mick.
Oh, Mick ball.
Oh, you seen him?
Oh, because he's the ball with us.
Mick ball. You know Mick ball?
He was lucky. Elton Bell retired.
I hadn't even looked up when I started hearing pop.
Elton Bell retired.
He said,
Well, Jerry West, he took Elton Bell's spot to shoot jumpers from his elbow.
you period.
I was he told me in the Vanderbilt. Scott Rogers used to call me and brother a couple of days. He was
whoever was supposed to be coming in to do something with us,
that was his assignment. You got a basic game. He said he came out and said
He wanted to come. Mick was something.
Mick is the first one that told me that. And he said, yo, you gonna guarantee.
He was right. He used to tell me. He said, no bums. Is that what he told me? No bums. No, ma'am. He said, Mick said,
I know what I want.
Okay.
He's getting the shirt.
You want with the spaghetti, hun?
Yes.
Okay, and you want to do a soup or a salad?
What type of soup?
I have Manhattan clam chowder, chicken rice, chicken noodle, and matzo ball.
Give me the clam chowder.
Okay.
Is that me one?
What do you
No, this is
have?
me. I'm gonna have the same thing.
Everything is exactly the same.
Not the same, except that I'm gonna have a salad.
Okay, what kind of dressing?
Honey mustard.
Okay.
I don't even see Mike Davis here.
And then,
Go down to number 18 of all time.
Yes.
A better give it to me. A better
I'm at the hotel, so I need a dessert to take back with me.
Not a problem. When you're ready, I'm ready.
Who wanted a menu?
Look at number 18.
No, I got one, so I'm going to. Yogi, you want a menu? Cheeseburger.
No, I got one. I'm getting ready to order. I can't decide.
But Donna Slater ended up going to Fort Hamilton. Yes. He made a mistake.
Yeah, but he was terrific.
He was great, but that, but then when he played against us, it was over.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That's usually the case.
matter of fact, I don't know if you remember, but the first game we played in my sophomore year was against Fort Hamilton. And we just they played us a zones too, so I was
Right, you light them up.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Slater was like, after the game, he was like, yo, man, I should have came say hi.
I was actually thought Slater played.
Huh? No, Slater, he went to Fort Hamilton
But he went to Rothschild, right?
with me.
Yeah.
He was my guard.
Right.
Yeah.
So I used to talk to him. I said, remember you used to play the same year? No, I played for Rothschild. I said,
And we won the city championship that year.
Right.
High school.
Yeah.
After Ronnie left.
Right.
If Ronnie would have stayed, it would have been undefeated. We only lost one game. We lost to Mellon. But then when Mellon came back to us, Rock 45. You don't want to remember that.
Yeah, that's junior high school.
Oh man, hey, listen, that's why.
Yeah, Lord, it's all we knew when I get together.
Junior high school ball was better than high school.
Absolutely. You drink John too.
Because I know my junior high school team, we played against LIU varsity.
No, you got
Literally. If the tournament was there, you tell you. They had their varsity. The only one that didn't play in that game was Luther Green.
Okay, I remember.
Albie Green and all the rest of them, and Nuvo and them, they all played. And we just ran them out of sand. And the article laid it out just like that.
I mean, the list is endless.
But you can't. Junior high school more powerful than a lot of high
Oh
school.
man, that was the feeder, man. All high schools, you know what I mean?
Myself,
Yeah.
Georgetown, Abdullah,
Yeah.
It was good times, brother.
Oh, brother, junior high school.
that's amazing. Isn't that amazing?
That squad to the post, man.
Yeah,
And
that was
Mick, that
fantastic.
was Mick's first coaching job.
By the time I got
He
there,
said, we didn't have
there
a
was a big
coach
old
that
trophy
sponsored us in the
that listed all those who won the city championship.
Right.
And all the names of all the junior high schools on that trophy.
Right.
But that trophy ended up staying at Sands.
He said,
Because we
I'm
were
a
just
coach.
winning them all.
You played player coach?
We came later.
And then Allen, they came after us. They came after us.
Al won the championship, but Bernard didn't.
Right, they get that thing going. And then
Russell's first coaching job.
Russell and his brother.
Oh yeah. Well, Steve ain't that heavy. Now that's in this 117.
Oh, you went to one. Oh, he didn't go to six.
No, because at that point
No, he didn't.
they had fulfilled all their registration areas.
Okay.
And Steve got caught up in that number. While Russell got into sand, Steve didn't send him over to 117. And that's what happened why Steve didn't come to sand, because between Farragut and Fort Greene, they filled up the registration.
If you don't like it, I'll change it to something else.
That sophomore year when me and Mel came, Russell was like, like he was captain, and he's like, okay, yo, boys, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Mel, Russell.
I'm telling you good, right?
I analyze my game after Russell. That's it.
That's your mentor.
He was my mentor.
When we came in, it's I was Russell got me, him, and Ronnie together. Said, listen,
The same that you always had?
I want to let y'all know something right now, right?
Russell Johnson was the shit.
Absolutely.
I mean, he was built like Atlas.
Oh my God.
Russell Johnson was it.
This is what a lot of people don't know. He was a sophomore and Jasper Wright was a senior with me.
Yeah, Jasper.
Because Jasper, because he had Russell as a sophomore.
Jasper, man. Remember Jasper? I call him picture chest.
Heard of him.
You know what? He was working with Rabbit 44s. I was down there one day. Here comes Pin Doris. No, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. He was so mad.
Gene was at one of our stars in Fort Greene.
No, but I'm telling you, we used to call him Chicken Wings. He came driving by. Me and him being Gene good friends. Because he lived in Florida now. He came driving by. I know I used to do the Jasper. Oh, Jasper got so mad he was foaming him out. You ain't never did nothing to me. Your ass was in the corner. You never came up. I said, calm down, man. We have a stroke. He like, see, I said, he said, yo, you know anything? I said, calm down, man.
I tried to get him to come to Virginia.
And then Dawson and he stayed out.
That's how we got down to Virginia, man.
We was in high school rivals. Nick was at 57. They was all that said. We was at 258. But when you guys change the history of what happened,
other guys
I think they got grabbed the rebound between Gene and what's his brother's name?
They got popular in high school.
They were twins. They were 6'8" in the corner shooting jump like
Gene and Earl.
You ever seen them grab a rebound?
Well, we was all
I used to get on him when I came on.
Gene wanted a rebound?
That's what I'm saying.
Please give us that. Hey, please give me a couple of inches.
I'm telling you,
They had tight, they had height, but they would not rebound.
They wouldn't go in at all.
They didn't have it in there to rebound.
I could go in and shoot out here.
So my grandson,
No, my cousins used to know that.
he left Brooklyn, went down south to live in Brooklyn. He ended up going to Livingstone.
That's my hometown.
Yeah. He went to Livingstone and they won the championship 2 years in a row.
who went to Livingstone?
My grandson.
Oh, your grandson?
They won the championship 2 years in a row.
They just offered my grandson scholarships and he didn't take it.
Really good. Nice
He
place,
exited
man.
I went to his house a long time.
Exactly.
I don't know where it's
First thing we never played
He's still with him.
I played
Tony Park.
Ginger ale?
Well, you know,
I got
My homeboy, Big Guy.
I mean, Ray Tiller's in there.
The New York, the Hall of Fame, basketball.
He's in there.
I'm on the 1960 boys team.
Right, that's where I taught the boys and girls high school.
that team in there, man.
Who did you teach there?
Going on.
Yes.
Yeah, because that didn't open until 74.
Right.
Lifetime achievement. Tom Sanders. Lifetime achievement award. Give me your number. I'm going to make sure you're there.
There was a reason. I want to thank you for inviting me over to say, because I would have never.
We're brothers and sisters and we're part of a fraternity here. Because even though we went to different high schools, we still remain friends. We work together. We all came to the same high school, but we all in the same community. Same thing. When you mentioned Ray High School, my son put his name down on the resume. He got his first coaching high school.
Henry Kinsey, Erie Dawson going in, they was my era.
So, we constantly look out for each other.
You know, I raised the question to some of the committee members. I said, how is it that homeboys with me?
Colgate game. I remember when he ran his track in 21s and that July, one over my head. So, it was down there basketball. The girls was on the track, on top, running with the paddle.
Together!
because I know I almost married one.
You know, Ray has to go there. Hey, brothers, this is Dr. Victor Gathers. Yeah. Play for Jeff. He got stories. He tell you stories about when they came to the high. Yeah. I remember you. No.
And what is your name again? I'll tell you right then I'll show you. We just pull off from these.
What is your phone? Go get your phone. Yeah, good to be seen, brother.
I understand.
Seriously,
I don't understand.
Walking Steel, man. Boys Live, 66, 69, bro.
69, all right.
yeah, he was on the last
Hard boys high.
Okay, all right. Yeah, but just show me.
I'm going to
I didn't see it.
That was over for tough. That was over for tough one going there.
I just seen him when I was beat you. Never won.
It was that defense, brother.
Like I said, I
shoved you into the wall.
You into the post.
Tell me what happened.
Yeah. Well, they were more surrounded, man.
What about more weapons? Say nobody told.
Toughen us up, man. How we toughen us up.
I'm sorry.
Hey, man. You had a good game against the high one time, though, right? What happened?
I never felt that I lost to the high. I felt that we just got beat.
There you go.
I came, I performed.
There you go.
What happened when you walked through the door, man? When you came in this gym, man? What was happening?
Oh, they had the football team outside.
A little bit more than that. A little bit. Bishops and them was out there.
That time when you wasn't getting home.
Nah, you wasn't getting home.
Yeah,
Clam chowder here.
I had a little crazy cousin that went to the boys' house.
Chicken rice?
He told me, ain't worried about that. He said, break out the work.
Okay. Sally? Sally? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He said,
That's a wonderful thing.
See how we get distracted? See how you
You know how to answer.
But question, I got a story for you.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. How this shit is going. Let me fix it.
So Lester Roberts comes to me and says, yo,
86,
I want the boys side team, the whole team, to play with this team called the Crushers.
Okay.
So I said, is that Mike's team?
Rap stole.
That only no Crusher, only no one Crusher.
Rap stole my shit. We remember when Rapper first came out.
Rap didn't do no coaching.
Because you know what?
He
Mr. Jones didn't allow us to play in the AAU. He started that after we left. We had to be the 289 every day for working out, and that was that. You ain't played with nobody else. After that, you send me to the tour, and I'll make a note.
Let me tell you something.
Rap didn't have no plays because we called the play.
I played for Rapper.
We called the boys I play.
Oh yeah, y'all playing for the older team, I was playing for the younger team. But I love Rapper. I love Rapper.
I do too. Man, he became supposed to go to football right out with the softball and everything. Because he told me, I knew when you used to start from high, you used to watch you niggas. What you doing, man?
I'm doing, brother.
I love Rapper.
But Ron, I got a Lester Roberts story for you too. They used to come to Jones house and bring them in there.
Never seen this stuff.
So I saw them a couple years later. Yo, you still got that jump push? No, I ain't got to poke you in your eye no more then. Thank you, you ain't got to poke me in my eye.
I got your
When they say you can beat us up,
send you
beat us up.
stuff so you know what's going on.
Only reason why I knew about this today is because
Eric,
because I was with Eric last week.
I'm on. I'm Celine Boteller. And the Ali tour, gotta do that. But I'm from Fort Greene. And, you know, with Howie, let me just say this. I actually met Howie at Sands Junior High School on Assembly Day. He would come to our assembly day where we would dress up. We had it like once or twice a week, and he would come in and be our guest speaker. I met him then. I was in junior high school, 8th and 9th grade. He came twice. Playing for Sands Junior High School, naturally he was recruiting many of my teammates of Sands Junior High School to come to Boys High, because he already had a tradition of a lot of Boys High players that he had recruited years before me. You know, from 1960 until my time in 1967 and 68. I entered into Boys High in 1969. But what was so fascinating about Howie, and this was before I even entered into Boys High, I was fortunate as elementary school student, I don't know, 4th, 5th grade. I was coming to Sands Junior High School's after school program. And at a certain time, you know, after school ended, I think it was 5 or 6 o'clock. And shortly when our time expired, it was time for the older guys to come in. And when they arrived, it was Boys High team. They were actually having practice at Sands Junior High School. And Sally Walker and Mr. Phil Cox, who were teammates with Howie at Boys High when they were Boys High students. They were our after-school program directors. So they allowed me to sit in on the Boys High practice. They told me there was a divider that divided the gym and said, you sit right there and don't move. Don't you move, you just watch. And shortly thereafter, the team started coming in. And some of the people that I recognized was people that I had known because they were from Fort Greene. So I was excited to know that, wow, this team has Fort Greene players on it. And then some other players that was on it. And so their practice began, the layup line and all that, and I was fascinated with the layup line. And I was more excited over the fact that I was able to sit there when practice started to see some of the players from Fort Greene who were on the team prior to my time there, and those who were, you know, coming after. They were already on the team. Even if they weren't eligible to play at the time because they weren't in the school, or they might have been had to wait a year, but they were all practicing. I remember that this was a time it was more than 15 players. It was definitely more than 15 players that were warming up, and eventually they started the practice. And the practice began with, I can't remember all of the names of all of the different players, but if I was to go back in time, because I entered into Sands Junior High School in 1966. So if I would go back, it would be 1965, 1964, 1963. So those players had to definitely have been, which I was able to identify a lot of them. You know, Rod Washington, Webb, and Cheatham, and Cheese, and Mike Henderson, and Alan Blackwell, and Pete Bell, and Lionel Hendrick. Oh, Lionel Hendrick was something. Yeah, he was something. He was. I got angry with him a lot when I used to sit there in the after school, because when the ball went astray, he would demand, "Don't get that ball, get it." He was mean, you know, but he was a terrific basketball player. He was a hell of a shooter. He could shoot. When Webb and them came in, Bonhoeffer was the star. And I used to listen to Pete Bell and Rob and all of them used to have conversations, because they was all from Fort Greene. And the one thing that I remember with them, they said that when Webb came in, because Rob lived in the same building with Gus Washington, Dowse, they all lived in the same building. So, you know, that was exciting, you know, just to know that alone, because Gus used to tease her, he my cousin, and he used to, Rob, aren't we related? And they would have some fun with that, because Rob Washington, Gus Washington, but they lived in the same building. So, and Rob would just say, no, we just neighbors, we live in the same building. We have some fun with that. But those players at the time that I was looking at on the team. But going back to the Von Hoppe years, they used to have conversation and talk, and I used to listen to the conversation how when Webb showed up in that year, Webb's first year, I think it was Rob and Larry, I think they all came in roughly around the same year. And I think Jackie Wilson and some of the others. There's some names, there's so many names.
So being coached by Howie Jones,
yeah.
how did he put the major influence on you?
Well, Howie's influence on me because I was already being prepared for the boys' high style play. Because Sally Walker and Bill Cox, since they were his high school teammates and or classmates, because Phil Cox was a football player, and he used to make a point that I played for the Green Bay Packers. He used to make a point of that. But he was teammate or high school classmates rather with Sally and Howie. So his impact on me was just the excitement knowing that he was also a part of the after-school program, and that when he came to our assembly day to introduce himself and to tell the assembly that he was recruiting me and Dallas and Gus and Big Gary Jackson and Eddie Morris, that we were it at that time for saying, and that he introduced himself and this is who he was saying. So that was the exciting time. But
on the court
for junior high school.
Yeah.
For junior high school, I was the starting backcourt man for Sands Junior High School. This was after Russell Johnson and Webb and Larry Cheatham. Oh yeah, because by that time I was sophomore. Melvin and Ronnie and Juan and Steve Johnson and Al Lawrence. They were the seniors, so I was the new one on the block. And
spoken by
Bo Taylor, handling the ball and all that stuff was what I did. I did that well. I just did it well. And so, that was, in short, I have a lot more to say to add to this, but in short, Howie's influence was early in junior high school in the after-school program. That's when I got the opportunity to watch them practice, and I was impressed by the practice, the layup line, and the players, because the majority of the players was from Fort Greene, who played for Sands Junior High School and Farragut. My experience. But playing for them, I finally had an opportunity to play for them when I first entered. But I was, like I said, a sophomore, and I had to come behind the seniors. And when my turn came to do my thing, I shined.
Another team wanted to guard them. The best game I ever had, defensively, Charlie Davis from Brooklyn Tech scored 50 on me. 50 on me. They were laughing at me.
Yeah, he played.
They was laughing. They went to Wake Forest.
That was his average the whole season.
They was laughing at me. You know what Mr. Jones said to me? That's the best defensive. That's the best defensive situation that you've ever done since you've been playing here, because he earned every basket.
Right.
He was averaging 50.
But we beat them by 50.
We only star actually.
He was.
He had Ronnie Nunn too.
Ronnie Nunn.
Yeah.
We locked him up. Oh, but he didn't score no 50 on me. I locked him up.
He did a clinic for me one time. Great person. Ronnie Nunn, Big Apple.
You know something?
Big Apple, you have the clinic.
I used to teach with him.
He could have been a better baseball player. Because me and him played baseball in American Legion.
He ended up being in charge of the ref for the NBA.
Yeah.
He was the head cat.
Yeah.
The pause.
But we talking, right? And you talking about how your team went. Imagine guys was doing this 40 years before us.
Mason, isn't it?
40?
40 years before us.
That's right.
Like, these guys 57, 58, 55, Tommy Davis, Cy Hugo Green,
Howie Jones' teams, a lot of his teammates.
Yeah, his teams.
Yeah.
A
lot of them were Howie's teammates.
Older brother.
That's right.
His father.
And the older brother. The older brother Antoine.
Yeah.
Whose father?
Which
Now.
Really? His father played the boys out. We went to the office. I went to the
Yeah.
office, and he showed me a picture of his father's on the team with boys
I couldn't
out.
find it. He got a picture of his 57 team when Connie Hogan was a freshman. Because I like, I talked to them about the history so forth. His brother Billy, and I always are talking about, because Billy was a great player. He said he didn't want to go to school. Father would walk him to school, like he said, his father was in high school, walk him to school, wait till his father leave, go out of school, go around the corner of the hole. The hole was still there when y'all was
That's right.
on.
Because we went out there right out.
That was the hangout. This is what me and Webb used to do, right? Mr. Jones had Webb on the land and I was at the door.
Yeah.
So Webb would say, yo, watch out for me, I'm going to smoke me a joint. So he go smoke a joint, come back.
And you take your turn.
I go around to the pool room. Play this guy 2 games, 8
that pool room was
$5 a
popular.
game. Come back.
That was popular.
Mr. Jones wouldn't know the difference. We go do our homework. Like, he put us in the room. I know he did that to y'all. He put us in the room. We had to do our homework and then we hit the track. 20 laps. Come down layup drill. I use those same layup drills and those same plays for my coaching and what. I've been coached 40 years myself now. Middle school, high school.
Mr. Jones, for 3 years, Mel tell you, we heard Webb every day.
Thank you. You heard Webb?
Every day, right,
I
Mel?
got a Webb story.
Mel could come down court and dunk on somebody, and he would say, Webb would have done that better.
He loved him.
He loved Webb.
We thought Webb was his son for a while.
Webb didn't even know that. The whole city loved Webb.
That's right. Go on, tell him.
This kind of Webb.
Whole city loved
All right, let me tell you my Webb story since you brought him up, right? When I got mixed up in the show or whatever, I got sent to the annex. So he came over, Joe came over to the annex and he was going to have us come over and have a trial with us. So he came and looked at us. What you doing here? He said, what do you mean I'm doing here? I thought this was the high. No, this is the annex. you got left because you didn't get sent to the annex. Me and Moran got sent to the annex. So he said, I'll tell you, you come 289 every day this summer, work out, because I got to put you on the team. Because he promised my mentor, this guy, Freddie Jones, that played with Connie Hawkins and them days. Matter of fact, he gave me his sweater and said, look, you're going to get you no sweater, you're going to have mine. He left with the sweater, whatever. Make a long story short, I'm there, we go there, we start working out. He always did this. He put me and Webb on the same team and wouldn't put me and Jack on the same team because we came from the same high school. So my first day there, he go, Webb, yo kid, give me a switch. Kid, ain't no motherfucking kid. Kid, because we always switched on defense, right? So he says, yo kid, give me a switch. What you talking about, kid? Ain't no motherfucking kid. We was cool since then. And another Webb story, he had bad knees. Mr. Jones had a chair in the shower. The chair in the shower for Webb to sit under the shower and with his knees. So he started talking to us every day. Oh, the doctor said Webb ain't gonna grow no more. I'm serious. So what happened was Robbie Washington and Rico Jenkins had got into an argument over some play that Robbie didn't supposed to get the ball, and Rico didn't give him the ball. So they in the shower, they start arguing again. Now the chair's there, I don't know where the hell Webb is. So Robbie came at Rico. Rico picks up the chair that's supposed to be there for Webb. So me with my dumb ass self, I'm slipping and sliding so over the chair. I'm trying to jump in between them. And I grab the chair and so three of us go sliding across the floor. Butt naked. Butt naked in the shower.
Wow.
I gotta remind Robbie just the next time I talk with him. But yeah, I said, things you do as a kid. And there's another thing he taught me. He used to tell us, when you come out the shower, it's dead of winter, take your last couple of, minutes in the shower and run cold water so your pores will be closed. And I remember that, and I passed it on to all my players. But with these, these little nuances. But crazy stuff used to happen. In the shower, we slide, we got the chair, one hold the chair, one try to hit the chair, thinking that we go sliding across the floor in the shower.
The other thing, I remember, he used to tell us, we play man to man.
Yeah.
That's your man. If you get picked off and he scores, it's your fault.
Yeah, that's 2 points we could have.
Remember that?
So they got, that's 4 points. That was his mathematics.
And he will go off, right?
Yeah.
I don't care if you got picked off. That's your man.
Yeah.
So you better fight around that pick. That's why we were so good defensively, because we didn't want to hit.
We had to earn that beat.
Y'all were blessed. You know, Howie left before I got to Virginia Union. I always say.
Yeah, he did.
Let me intervene for a second. I want to know what it was like for teams to play against Boys High. And I'm going to call, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to speak about my dear friend and coach, Howie Jones. Howie Jones was very, very special in many, many ways. He was a father figure, he was a coach, as well as he was a friend.
Listen to Jackie Jackson.
How did Howie Jones influence you
You know, Howie was a philosopher. He knew young men in Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy. He knew what to tell them to encourage them and motivate them. For example, when I first met Howie, I was introduced to Howie by Lester Roberts, and I went to a Boys High game. I was really enthralled and really impressed by the camaraderie and the love and also the talent of the team. And when I got an opportunity to meet him face to face, I really met Howie for an hour. Excuse me, for a minute and a half. I was in junior high school when I met Howie. He said, I heard a lot about you. I understand you have some talent. If you want to play for the very best, you only come to one high school. That's Boys High School. I was considering Wingate, Erasmus Hall. I was going to Erasmus Hall. But when Howie Jones said to me, if you want to play with the best and be with the best, you come here. He turned around and walked away from me. And here I am, a young star, influenced by people around me. And when Howie walked away from me, I was like, that left an indelible image in my mind. He made a statement. So 6 months later, when I started really thinking about it, I said, you know something? If I think I'm as good as I think I really am, I'm going to go to Boys High School. I went to Boys High School. The rest is history. I have no regrets. It's the best decision I ever made. And the bottom line is, if I didn't go to Boys High, if I went to Erasmus High School, I'd have had probably 6 kids before I graduated. The bottom line is, I love Boys High. I will always love Boys High. And there's always one Boys High School. Not Boys and Girls High School, Boys High School. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for watching. Don't forget, tune in next week to Cultural Spectrums and Jazz Pearls. Same time, same station. Until then,